ensure that your students set the right goal. Okay, why is goal so important? Do you have goals in your life?
Yes.
Why do you create goals, by the way? Why do you need that goal? So that you work hard, right? So what could be your goal this semester? Any specific goals for this semester?
Pass all the subjects.
Pass my you want to pass this course, right?
Yes.
Not a good goal. According to admin log later, you will see, if you say your goal is to pass EDU2393 this semester, it is not an effective goal. It's a good goal, but not an effective goal. How to make it more effective?
Score.
I want to score EDU2393 this semester. Still not effective enough.
I can understand enough of the subject.
Again?
Understand enough of the subject.
I would like to understand enough. It is not a goal. That would be your strategy. Yeah, like what? Can you make it specific? Because admin log says goal must be specific. How to make it specific? Instead of having I would like to pass, I must pass my EDU2393 this semester, make it specific. In
I
what
want to
manner
get
it can
A.
be specific?
I want to get A for this subject.
I would like to get an A. That's very specific. Passing is so general. Right? A D is also a pass. Would you like to get a D grade? No. So therefore, I would like to get an A grade for EDU2393 this semester. Time frame is there. Specific figure, quantifiable is also there. So that is actually the idea of admin log. So now let's see. Theories of motivation when it comes to goals, according to Locke's goal theory, he says, he made these assumptions, okay? He says goals which are accepted by individuals, they can be very strong motivators. What does that mean? Firstly, you yourself need to accept or embrace that goal. So therefore, other people cannot structure your goal. Right? In order for you to embrace, like it, work on it, you have to come up with your own goal. So that is the first assumption. Right? And admin log says, why is this so? So it says over here, when that happens, okay, the goal that you have structured, it makes you focus your attention, right? It makes you mobilize your efforts. Goal makes you enhance your persistence, and goals make you try to find new strategies. If the first one fails, you will keep on striving, trying to get the right strategies until you are successful. Right? That is the power of the goal that you yourself have structured. Okay, you like it, you embrace it, okay, you work on it. So these are some of the functions of a good goal. Task of a good goal. Okay, because this one came out. Alright, secondly, specific goals, like what we mentioned earlier. Specific goals, okay, obviously they are much more effective than general goals. Why? Number one, because you specifically know what to achieve. It is specifically, clearly stated in your goal statement. Alright, it focuses your attention on getting an A, for example. Okay? And then goals need to be a little bit difficult. You cannot just say, I want to pass, because that's easy actually. Passing with a D is possible if you complete all assignments, right? You can pass with a D. So now, in order to make you more successful, it has to be a little bit difficult, but attainable. Only you know your own performance. Only you know your own capability. That's the reason why you need to structure your own goal. So if you feel like getting an A is way too difficult, right? Perhaps a B plus will do. So your goal goes like, I would like to get a B plus grade for EDU2393 this semester. Right? So this one is up to you. you view your own ability and capability. And then in order to be effective again, you need to like your goal, embrace it. Okay, you can only accept and embrace it if that is your own goal. Your parents cannot structure goals for you. Do your parents do that? Some parents do, right? Some parents do. So I do have students who do not want to be castle, do not want to be teachers, but the parents force them to do so. So what happened? You keep on getting warning one, wow, absent letter, because you do not have the heart, you see, for that program. But when you change program to CC program, wow, this person, yes, needs this every semester. So that is actually the right one for you. Huh? So now let's have a look. With regard to framework, okay, any questions before that? Am I going too fast? We are here, functions of the group. Yeah. Now let us look at the framework. When I say framework, I am referring to how variables, how these things are interconnected. Okay, so this is how they are connected, related to one another. Firstly, we have the characteristics of an effective goal. It has to be specific, challenging, but attainable. It has to be embraced, right? Can we add in? There are more actually. If you have attended any seminars before on goal setting, on motivational theories and whatnot during SPM level and so on and so forth, you may find that a good goal, an effective goal, is also a SMART goal. SMART. That is actually an acronym. Acronym for what? S, specific, M, measurable. What do we mean by measurable? We can see what you want, right? A grade, getting an A grade, that's measurable. So SM, measurable. A, attainable. R, realistic. It has to be realistic. And T, time bound. Alright, you cannot go forever. I want to get an A. Then this semester, next semester, okay, another 2 more years. Alright, so I want to get an A this semester. So that is what we call time bound. Okay, what about realistic over here? If you always fail the paper and suddenly you're good, I want to get an A plus this semester. That is not realistic anymore. You know, at least a C. Okay, because you always get an F. Then be realistic, in other words. Huh? And then once you have that particular goal, which is SMART goal, specific, challenging, attainable, and embrace, these particular characteristics will help you to focus, this kind of goal will help you to focus your attention, mobilize your effort, enhance your persistence on work. What does that mean? Keep on going, okay? And you keep on finding ways or strategies in order to be successful. This is what it means, develop specific tasks and strategies. And then it will be measured by your performance. If everything goes well, your performance is like how you desire. Okay? But sometimes it doesn't go in that manner, right? Sometimes the performance is not like what we expected. If that happens, okay, we need to analyze the feedback. What could be, you know, what could be wrong with our strategies probably? What could be wrong in terms of our effort probably? Okay, so this is what it means by actual versus desired behavior. What is your actual performance? What is your desired performance? If your desired performance is getting 90%, but your actual performance is only 70%, that's a gap of 20%. What went wrong? So you have to check back with them. Alright? So that is goal setting theory suggested by Long. Now, besides goal setting theory, there are many other researchers who look into intrinsic and extrinsic motivation in motivating human beings. So what does that mean? Intrinsic meaning
Internal.
from internal factors. Extrinsic meaning external factors. So what do you get from that idea? Any internal factors that motivate you to learn? Internal factors. You are doing TESOL. What could be the internal factors that motivate you to learn, to take up TESOL program? Okay, you just give me one factor.
Satisfaction when the student understand what we teach.
Satisfaction, you have that satisfaction, satisfactory feeling when you teach your students understand you. Internal factor. Right. What other factors that you can think of?
Mastery and growth.
Again?
Mastery and growth.
Mastering?
And growth.
Mastering? Self-development. Are you talking about? Okay. Personal development. Meaning to say, when I learn TESOL, when I am in TESOL program, I can experience some sort of personal growth, especially when it goes with my language proficiency. Very internal. Any other factors that you can think of? Anyone here feels that I like this program because later when I become teachers, I can get a lot of pay. Teachers with lots of pay. Let's say, alright, or perhaps it's a sure job for you, marketable, right? Meaning to say, after I have graduated, for sure I can get a job. Anyone go with that? If you have that, meaning to say you are driven by external factor. So what is internal? What is external? Internal motivation, you yourself motivated to do the task, right? Or to take up the challenges. External motivation, you take up the challenges or do the task because other people or surrounding environment forces you or telling you to do so. Alright, for some students, the parents would say, if you go with TESOL, I'll give you 500 allowance every month. And you go, okay, I'll do TESOL. External, internal. Extrinsic motivation. Okay? So between extrinsic and intrinsic motivation, which one stays longer? Which one is actually more powerful?
Intrinsic.
What makes you choose intrinsic?
Because it's your own
Because
self.
self-interest, right? Self-passion. You do not have to wait for people to tell you, okay, or to motivate you. So that one is much stronger. So among examples of intrinsic motivation are, first one, driven by your own interest and passion, and sometimes because you are curious. Curiosity is also regarded as intrinsic motivation. When you are curious, you want to know more on your own, so you will, explore more on your own. When it comes to extrinsic motivation, like what I mentioned just now, these are all external factors. It can be in the form of rewards given to you, okay, allowance just now, that will be incentives. But don't forget, it can also be in the form of punishments as well. Alright? For example, if you don't take up TESOL, you are not going to get a single cent from me for your allowance. That's a punishment. So these incentives, you see. So you take up TESOL. Alright? So what could be the key difference? Main difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation would be the reason for your action. Reason for your action. When it comes to intrinsic, you act because of your own self-interest, curiosity, and so on. Alright? When it comes to extrinsic motivation, you act because of external factors. But do remember, sometimes something which starts off as extrinsic motivation can also slowly change to intrinsic motivation. For example, your parents force you to be here, taking up TESOL program. You don't like it, but as you go along with the program, semester 1, semester 2, so on and so forth, you sort of build interest, within the program. So that is what we call, sometimes what starts as extrinsic motivation can become intrinsic later. Okay, it can change. Alright, so this is theories of motivation. With regard to intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, we will look at another researcher who focuses on a workplace setting. After this, workplace setting for intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Okay, any questions up to that point? No? Clear? Clear, but then you cannot answer.
Kata apa lah. Okay, Kak. Macam mana belajar di smart? Spesifik.
Again?
If it is the factor is social recognition, is
Social?
it? Yes,
Society?
Yes.
Okay.
Like you want to make a name for yourself, is it intrinsic or
Extrinsic. Extrinsic. Okay. External factor, social recognition. You want people to recognize you, right? So that is extrinsic nature. Okay, anything else? Any other factor that you can think of? Perhaps you can map that to either intrinsic or extrinsic. What else do you have in mind? For example, like because your best friend is in this program. Extrinsic, intrinsic. Extrinsic. Okay. Pay is good, extrinsic, right? You get a lot of holidays. You see, if you become teacher.
Yeah.
Intrinsic, extrinsic.
Extrinsic.
Alright. Anyone here go with that? With that reason for being a teacher?
No.
Holidays. Okay, that's nice. When you are at my age, that is kids. That's okay. Alright, if you have no question, then perhaps we can proceed before we take 5. Yeah? We proceed with, you want to take 5 already?
no?
Last theory for motivation. Alright, we go back to our earlier idea. People, human beings are motivated by needs, beliefs, and goals. Okay, with regard to goals, we have 2 settings. Alright, number 1, we need our students to be motivated by their own goal. And secondly, how we are able to motivate our employees. You are principal, you must always think as an administrator. As an administrator in school, a principal in school, in what manner do you think you can motivate your teachers? This is a private school. Government school, nothing much you can do. Private school, your own school. Yes, again? You want to increase their pay. Very good. Intrinsic, extrinsic. Extrinsic motivation. Do you think they will work harder?
Yes.
Increase their pay? Yes. You are wrong with this theory later. Okay, give me other examples. How you can go about motivating your teachers. Number 1, you can increase their pay. Number 2, provide benefits like what? We have fringe benefits when we work. Okay, fringe benefits like insurance coverage. That's fringe benefits, you see. They can claim OT, right? Internal, external? External. Can you make them work better, harder?
Yes.
Cannot. See? Sometimes they just simply stay back just to claim the OT, but they are not doing anything, right? Not necessarily. You can make sure that they work harder and perform better. Okay, what could be intrinsic in nature when it comes to, motivating your teachers? Similar like just now. Curiosity, interest, passion. What do you do with these teachers? Give them
Award.
awards. Okay, giving awards.
Intrinsic.
Extrinsic. Recognition. You recognize that. You see? Appreciate them. That would be intrinsic in nature because it goes straight to the heart. So appreciate your teacher. You recognize their contribution. You give the tasks that they like to do, subjects that they like to teach. You can see they do it wholeheartedly. That would be intrinsic in nature. Alright, so now let's have a look. This particular idea, alright, motivating employees, okay, comes from the two-factor theory. And this particular theory is a little bit confusing. Many students couldn't grasp the idea of this theory. So firstly, let's have a look. A person named Herzberg came up with this theory, and this particular theory is known as motivation hygiene theory. Okay? And since we have two separate factors over there, what could be the factors? Motivation factors, hygiene factors. This particular theory is also known as the two-factor theory. Alright? So what is the idea behind Herzberg's theory? Okay? After extensive research, okay, you need to do a lot of researches, then only you can come up with one conclusion. So Herzberg did a lot of research and he found that, okay, certain factors in the workplace will affect workers' satisfaction level. And a separate factors will influence their dissatisfaction level. Separate factors, okay? So let's say just now you mentioned that pay, okay? We give workers good pay. It goes with which level, which stage? Could it be satisfaction or dissatisfaction? It goes with dissatisfaction. Meaning to say you give workers good pay, they have less dissatisfaction. But you cannot say they are satisfied. No, they are not satisfied. Because pay is not a characteristic for satisfaction level. Pay has got nothing to do with whether a worker satisfied or not satisfied. But pay is connected with whether the worker is dissatisfied or not dissatisfied. That is the theory. This is what we call two-factor theory. Okay, so let's see what could be the idea. Once we go through the theory, then perhaps you can grasp what is meant by this psychologist. Very psycho, right? Psychologist. So now in his two-factor theory, he says there are certain factors in the workplace that cause job satisfaction. This is motivation factor. While a separate, that is the keyword, separate set of factors will cause dissatisfaction. Two distinct different factors, not connected to one factor. Alright, not connected to one another. Alright, so now let's have a look. The fundamentals of this theory says the feeling of satisfaction and dissatisfaction at the workplace, they are independent phenomena. In other words, okay, in the workplace, according to Herzberg, dissatisfaction is not the opposite for the word satisfaction. Not the opposite. They meant different things. You see, they meant different things. Why do they mean different things? Because they are both independent, not related to one another. Okay? Alright. Not like, efficient worker, inefficient worker, you can make the connection. Because inefficient is opposite with efficient. But in here, this worker is satisfied, but this worker is not, is dissatisfied. No connection. Because dissatisfaction due to other factors, satisfaction is due to different factors. Right? So this is what Herzberg mentioned. So as a manager, as a supervisor, a principal, you need to know that in order for you to improve job attitudes and productivity, you must recognize and attend to both sets of characteristics. You need to make sure you give both motivational factors and hygiene factors to your worker, to your teachers. Then only this teacher will be, improve in her job attitudes and productivity. You cannot just give good pay and ignoring the motivational factors. Good pay is hygiene factors. Good pay, and then you ignore the motivation factor. And you feel that, hey, I have given you good pay. Why your performance is still low? Because you did not give me the motivational factors. You see? Right. So this is what it means. So it says again in here, do not assume that an increase in satisfaction will lead to a decrease in dissatisfaction. It has no connection. Right. So now, up till this point first. Any questions? No question? Can we proceed?
Yes.
Fundamentals, basis of the theory. Again, okay. We know that all the satisfaction characteristics or satisfaction level are affected by motivator factors. Motivator factors are all intrinsic in nature. And when we use motivator factors at the workplace, we can describe job satisfaction. We cannot say anything about job dissatisfaction because it only relates to satisfaction level of the worker. Then we have another level, dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction are all from hygiene factors. When I say hygiene, we are referring to external environmental factor. Like you don't have a laptop to work with, that's hygiene. Right? You work in an environment with no aircon, so hot, that's hygiene. It will affect your dissatisfaction level, but your performance is still tip-top. This is what it means, because it will not relate or connect to your motivation. Right? Sometimes people work better even though they do not have any laptops, you see? Right? Because passion towards working makes them find strategies in order to perform. Right? So this is the two-factor theory in which all motivators, motivational factors, intrinsic in nature, will affect workers' satisfaction level. And all hygiene factors, which are external factors, okay, these will affect workers' dissatisfaction level. Right? When you explain, understand first the nature of the factor and then find which level to relate to. Only one level. Okay? When you say pay, I will not take this level at all. I cannot mention this level at all. because it has got nothing to do with workers' satisfaction. Good pay, how would I explain? Good pay will decrease dissatisfaction feelings among workers. But I cannot say the worker is satisfied. No. Decrease dissatisfaction level. Alright? Recognition, appreciation from the company will increase workers' satisfaction level. I will not say anything about this word because they are not related. Up to that point, you need to get the idea. Any question? Yeah? Alright, here we proceed. So in general, this theory distinguishes between two factors, which are motivators or motivational factors and hygiene factors. Right? So what could be some examples for motivators? In the workplace, challenging work. People like challenging work because it challenges your thinking level. So challenging work is a motivator. Recognition given by bosses, supervisors, principals, that's a good motivator. Responsibility, you increase the responsibility of your teacher, meaning to say you trust that teacher. That acts as a good motivator as well. Right? When you give these things to your teachers, it will give positive satisfaction. Alright? Because these are all arising from intrinsic conditions of the job itself, such as recognition, achievement, and personal growth. All these are very intrinsic in nature. Okay? It will actually, touch, it goes to the heart of your teachers. What about hygiene factors? External. Okay? You give your teachers good status, right? Good promotion. Let's say now you're no longer a normal teacher, you are now super senior teacher status. Okay, but doesn't mean that she will work harder, right? Then you give them job security. This is a permanent job for you, right? Salary, good salary, fringe benefits, okay, insurance coverage. You have dentist coverage, whatever not. You give all these things, right? They do not give positive satisfaction, got nothing to do with satisfaction. But if there are absence, they will affect the dissatisfaction level. Right? You don't have this, they will feel dissatisfied. Okay, when you give this, they are not satisfied, but less dissatisfied. Right? So now, these are all extrinsic in nature and may include company policies as well. Sometimes we work in that company, we stay longer because we like the policy. But we don't work harder, we stay longer. Okay, we become more loyal because the company policy is good. Supervisory practices. Okay, I like to work there because someone will keep on coaching me. I get good training. You see? But my performance stays the same. Right? So this is what we call hygiene factors. So basically, factors for motivational factors, these are the factors. Personal growth is there. Hygiene factors, these are the factors. Very external in nature. Alright. So now let's say I quote relationships with co-workers. Alright, let's say in that workplace, you as the worker, you have very good relationship with the co-workers. Which level will it affect? Is it your satisfaction level or dissatisfaction level?
Satisfaction.
Again? Hygiene, which level will you explain? Satisfaction level or dissatisfaction level?
Dissatisfaction.
Do you mean to say now you are satisfied, or do you mean to say you are now less dissatisfied? Which one?
Less dissatisfied.
Can you say that because you are less dissatisfied, you are actually satisfied?
No.
No action. Okay? When I quote, let's say, achievement, Alright? You get good achievement in that company. Alright, so which level will you explain? With regard to good achievement, the worker's satisfaction level or dissatisfaction level has been increased.
Satisfaction.
Increase your satisfaction level. In other words, you are more satisfied. Do you mean to say you are less dissatisfied because you are more satisfied now?
No.
No, don't talk or don't mention about your dissatisfaction level. Not connected. None of these factors are connected to one another. They are all independent phenomena. Yeah, up to that point? Yes. Okay, so now let's say in workplace setting, yeah, let's say you have employees who are so dissatisfied, alright, meaning to say hygiene factors is not good, and they are also unmotivated, meaning to say motivational factors is also not good, right? Both are not good, both are negative. Whenever you have this kind of employees, right, what you need to do, you need to go step by step in improving their job activities. Firstly, what is more important to be given is hygiene factors first. What is this hygiene factors? Give more pay, alright, give bonus, give aircon, laptop, new laptop, whatever not. Improve on the hygiene factors. Okay? So once you have that, employees now will become not dissatisfied or less dissatisfied, but still unmotivated. Why? Because you did not give this person the motivational factors yet, right? Now, once they are not dissatisfied, they are more open. They are more, receptive. Alright? They are more at peace. So when they are in that manner, you give them motivation factors. Recognition, good challenging jobs, okay, responsibilities, and finally you will get employees who are satisfied and motivated. Meaning to say they are very much motivated already. Both factors are nicely integrated. Alright? So this is what we call how we go about changing the attitudes of our employees. Now, summary, review of what we have discussed all this while. Number one, needs theory. Remember, these are the key content, key words. You need to mention when it comes to needs theory, how people are being motivated, they have their level of needs that they need to achieve, which starts off from, the most important needs to the lowest, most important to the least important. And then you describe physiological need, basic needs, then we have safety, then we have belonging up till
self-actualization.
Self-actualization. And then we have motivation hygiene theory, today's theory. Okay, how do you go about describing that with regard to motivating people? Remember, in motivating workers, we have two separate factors that we need to entertain. Okay, motivational factors and hygiene factors. They are independent, they are not connected. As a principal administrator, you must give your workers both factors. Right? So you have to identify which one is hygiene factor and which one is motivator. And then goal setting just now, Locke. Alright, what did Locke say? Goal must be embraced, goal must be specific, smart goal. All these characteristics of a good goal will drive the individual to work harder. Okay? And then attribution theory, Weiner's theory, how do we control cognitive perception of our students? Make sure our students put the blame on something which is internal in locus, as well as controllable in terms of controllability. So therefore, we have to guide the students, direct the students to put the blame on effort and their ability. Okay, their ability with regard to incremental view. Remember, we have to use entity Stability view, cannot do anything. Incremental view, it is unstable. So you have rules for improvement. Alright, and finally we have self-efficacy theory by Van Dura, which is very much related to attribution theory. Make sure your students do not fall under learned helplessness. Remember, you have to strengthen your self-efficacy by directing them to blaming something which is controllable and internal in nature. Okay, this one does not talk about self-efficacy, just success. This one talks about strengthening self-efficacy, becoming more efficient. Alright, so we are done with theories of integration. And we are done as well with individual system. Remember our framework of school as a social system? We have structure system, that one is Weber. And then we have individual system, these are all individual systems. Okay, we will proceed with a culture system. And finally, political system. And then you're done. Another 3 more weeks. Keep up with the readings. Yeah? Keep up with the reading. And if you do not understand any part of the lecture, you can always, ask questions. And then you'll be doing a lot of reading questions. Because the questions will not be straightforward. I won't ask you what are hygiene factors. No, it's not going to be that many. Okay, I'll give you a scenario. This person is having this and this and this in the workplace. You discuss. Okay, what could be the hygiene factors missing? Then you need to know. Alright, so now because this is a degree level, okay, it is more of application task. I have already finished setting your quiz, but then another lecturer go through the quiz and she would like to change it. She would like to get it done again. You see, most likely, I don't know, probably the level is tough. I don't know. So she will redo by putting more of true false questions and ABCD. So you guys are lucky, I would say, right? Because this semester I have another 3 more teachers, 3 more lecturers teaching the same course, right? So it was their first time teaching the course, so they wanted to be similar. So in that case, we're going to standardize the test, so hopefully it will be better for you. And previously it was only easy teaching, so standardizing.
Yang besar. Yang ada 2 lagi kelas pertanyaan saya. Ada tulis, ada
Okay, take 5 before you come back, and then we can do a little bit of Kahoot, okay? After Kahoot, I guess that's it. I will finish off the class. I don't want to start off with me talking.
nampak ke? Aku macam
Tak, aku dah tulis, aku tak boleh.
aku nak tulis ni. Ya?
Ya, mana boleh kau pasang di